If you remember Yoda going on a rampage in The Clone Walker, this canonically inconsistent battle on Mustafar, and having to do this jumping section a million times, then you grew up playing LEGO Star Wars. But which one? Because there were 6 games released across 19 different consoles, and in this video series, we're going to compare each of them. Now, most of these games are comprised of several Star Wars movies, sometimes the entire saga, so I decided the best way to compare them would be to break them up by movie and dedicate a video to each episode. And so in this video we're comparing every version of Revenge of the Sith in LEGO Star Wars games. Okay, we start with the original and the complete saga. Now there are some minor differences between these two which I will point out as we go along. Okay, we begin with the exhilarating battle over Coruscant. The two Jedi then crash land on the Invisible Hand. Oh look, they traded hair from the last episode. And there's General Grievous, and if he's anything like the other villains, he's going to run away like he owes us money. Yep. I wonder, Anakin, do they have sewers here like in the Revenge of the Sith game? It's supposed to be the fuel room, Master. Didn't you see all those comments in the Revenge of the Sith video? This always felt like the longest level in the original game. You make your way through the ship, then take on Dooku. You can fight Dooku as Anakin and Obi-Wan, but I always preferred to have R2 just tase him from behind. Also, is it me, or does the original Dooku minifig kind of look like old Ben, who's had a bit of a botched plastic surgery? He probably had Dr. Evazan do it. So this level doesn't end with the Dooku battle, it continues with the escape sequence. And look at Palpatine somehow running despite his legs being a single piece. Oh no, the Chancellor didn't make it! Actually, you know what, in the grand scheme of things, maybe that's not such a bad thing. I do love these early LEGO designs. Look, they use the exact same head for Palpatine as they would for the Emperor. Look at him, just a nice, unsuspecting politician. So this level finally ends with the Jedi crash landing on Coruscant. Just don't expect a warm welcome from Mace Windu. Look at him, he's like, why are you so late? We've got the pizza delivery to make. Right, so the next level is a boss battle against Grievous on Utapau. This is followed by Yoda and Chewbacca on Kashyyyk. Alright, quickly now, before the clones catch up. So Yoda is different between the original and the complete saga. In the former, he floats around in the pod, ironically making him one of the fastest characters in the game. Now, in the complete saga, the prequel Yoda is the same one they use in The Empire Strikes Back, so he just hobbles around with his walking stick. Look at the other Wookiees. Oh great, Chewbacca's brought that acrobatic frog religious nut with him again. Oh nice, a walker. I wonder if I can... Oh, he can! You all are. Knock knock. There, who is? Also, growing up, was anyone else too stupid to realize the grappling hook thing was under the flower? Or was it just me? Of course, the point of the level is to make it to the big egg. My ticket out of this shithole, this is. Next up is the Ruin of the Jedi level, or as it should have been called, Pain in the Arse Ledgers in the library. And we're off to Mustafar, where Anakin and Padme are having an argument. Fine, I won't slaughter any more younglings. This is all your fault. And so it's time for the dramatic battle of heroes. Eventually, you see, this being a family-friendly co-op game, you have to work together to navigate Mustafar's many obstacles. And then you get this bit. My god, if you grew up playing this part, especially on co-op, then I'm so sorry. It's like one of the developers came into work one day and said, hey, I've just played that Jedi Power Battles game. Yeah, the one with all the impossible platforming. Let's do a level like that. And if you do manage to get to the other side, it's time for the final showdown. No, that's not what happened, Obi-Wan. You've got to maim him first. Now, do it again. And that's it for the Revenge of the Sith portion of the original game. Fun fact, this game actually came out a full 6 weeks before Revenge of the Sith, which means the first time many of us experienced Episode 3 was in LEGO form. Alright, moving on, there was also a version of LEGO Star Wars released for the Game Boy Advance with a Revenge of the Sith section. And the cover image is Episode 2 Anakin battling Episode 2 Obi-Wan. As I mentioned in the first 2 videos, the GBA game had a much smaller number of minifigs, so they had to improvise. And sure enough, the very first level is Episode 2 Anakin on the Invisible Hand. You know, this kind of reminds me of how I used to play with Legos as a kid. I didn't have any Revenge of the Sith sets, so instead I had my 9-year-old pod racer Anakin fight Episode 2 Obi-Wan with a couple of red bricks just to signify they were on Mustafar. Oh look, Count Dooku did not expect this. What? Episode 1 Obi-Wan? Again with this shit? I won't stand for it. And so Anakin and Dooku fight until the young Jedi literally shatters Dooku into pieces. We then get a bunch of Yoda and Chewbacca levels on Kashyyyk, and then a few levels with Obi-Wan on Utapau. I like how they've actually committed to this visual inconsistency. Look, they actually have rendered stills of Obi-Wan from Episode 1 shooting Grievous. And then we get the finale on Mustafar. Episode 2 Anakin loves Episode 2 Padme, but the sheer sight of Phantom Menace Obi-Wan gets him so angry that he force chokes her and runs away. Obi-Wan then chases him up these big cheese graters. And here it is, the epic duel just as we remember it in the movie, with Anakin running away halfway through the fight and leaving Obi-Wan to fight a battalion of clones. Alright, moving on, we have the DS version released as part of the complete saga. And just like the first 2 episodes, this one sticks as close as it can to the console game. We get a reworked version of Battle over Coruscant, skip the inside of the Invisible Hand, and go straight to Grievous and then Kashyyyk. Oh yeah, great job Chewbacca, just stand there and let me get shot. You then get the Jedi Temple level, followed by the Mustafar duel. There's more co-op running, but all the lava jumping is a lot easier this time around. I'll also give a quick shout out to the Java mobile version of LEGO Revenge of the Sith. This is a very basic game, you walk around levels, chopping down droids, and moving bricks to solve puzzles. And finally, we have the Skywalker Saga. The Revenge of the Sith section opens up with a shot-for-shot remake of the opening scene from the movie. Unfortunately, there's no flying level, instead we go straight inside the Invisible Hand. The good news is, this is not just another open hub level, there's actually some gameplay here, mainly puzzles. Oh, I know this one, I just lift the thing and then place it on top of... maybe not. The Dooku fight is your standard boss battle. There's no escape section in this version, but Palpatine is doing a slightly better job of masking the fact that he wants to kill everyone. And then we're transported to another open hub level, this time the Jedi Temple. The Grievous boss fight is extra annoying. He's got 3 health bars, and every time you deplete one, he buggers off and forces you to do some puzzles. Well, eventually he'll bugger off after standing there for about 5 seconds being completely impervious to damage. Back on Coruscant, Palpatine, who's completely changed his hair and face, reveals that he's a Sith. Anakin then tells the Jedi, and we get to play as Mace and Kit Fisto. Hey Yaddle, you wanna come over throw the Chancellor with us? Nah, she's too busy practicing her DreamWorks face. So you take a cab to Palpatine's, and trigger the cutscene with a big fight and Anakin's final turn to the dark side, and then we cut to Yoda and Kashyyyk. That's right, the only gameplay during this pivotal moment in the movie is Mace walking to Palpatine's office. Well, at least Yoda and Kashyyyk is a proper level. Come on, you know what I want. Yes! Callback, this level is. This section does remind me of the original game, with its puzzles and brick building and Easter eggs, like this one of Palpatine muttering to himself over hologram.
I am Chancellor Palpatine, I am Darth Sidious, I'm the Emperor.
Oh great, look at these 2 7-foot Wookiees just standing back and letting a 900-year-old push the big cog. Just for that, you don't get to go into the big egg with me. Yoda and Obi-Wan then reunite at the temple. Unlike the originals, the temple isn't actually a level, it's another open hub. I mean, okay, there are 6 clones waiting for you outside, but that's about it. You know what, I'd still take that over all the ledge jumping in the original. Hold on, how did you younglings manage to survive Order 66? I guess Anakin forgot to check the library. Yoda also has this move in the Skywalker Saga where he jumps on the enemy and, breaks their neck. Now, one thing this game does have over the originals is the Senate duel, where Yoda and Captain Typho take on Sidious. Sure, why not? Remember when Sidious chased Typho around his office? All that time, Typho had to withdraw some cash in the middle of the battle. So Yoda's defeated, and we cut to Obi-Wan and Bail Organa. Oh, that clone just assaulted a senator in broad daylight. They didn't give Bail a gun, but he doesn't really seem to need it because he's clearly a 3rd-degree black belt in Muay Thai. Oh, don't mind me, Padme, I'm just beating up your droid, beating up your wardrobe, beating up your expensive furniture, and this random person on your balcony. You then get to play as Padme, and again, I use the term play very loosely. She walks to her ship and then flies in a straight line to Mustafar, where she meets sleep-deprived Anakin, and it's time for the final battle. Anakin, are you gonna do anything, or just stand there and dance? Wait, if Anakin's not the playable character, then who is? What? 3PO? And so the protocol droid is forced to turn on his maker. Oh wow, look, he's actually doing damage. The droids are actually a pretty big part of this level because 2/3 of it consists of puzzles only they can solve. Kind of breaks up the action and the emotional poignancy, doesn't it? I still don't see why they didn't just let the second player be Anakin like in the originals. Eventually the battle moves to the lava river. So do we have another jumping section? No, it's just more basic puzzle solving from the droids interspliced with an occasional quick time event or button bash from Obi-Wan, which you can't even lose. Look, it just stays like this forever until you start tapping the circle button. And that's it for the Revenge of the Sith portion of the Skywalker Saga and the prequels as a whole. So how did the prequel trilogy compare amongst all of its LEGO incarnations? Well, the original game will always be special. Sure, it's not the most sophisticated gameplay experience, but its pick-up-and-play simplicity mixed with its surprising depth thanks to the ton of unlockables, Easter eggs, and secrets has cemented the original LEGO Star Wars as a classic for many of us. The Game Boy Advance game I think is just hilarious, and I appreciate the DS game for getting as close as it could to its big brother, which leaves the Skywalker Saga. Now, the visuals have always been the standout aspect of the prequels, and I think the Skywalker Saga really nails that part. It pays close attention to details and does a great job blending the prequels' aesthetics with modern LEGO design. However, the gameplay, at least in this first third of the game, is kind of lacking. Yes, there's a fair amount of secrets, unlockables, and Easter eggs, but most of them are spread around these hub stages, and I'm sure those players who go looking for them will enjoy this game. But I think those who pick up the Skywalker Saga expecting the same pick-up-and-play formula will be disappointed once the novelty of the shiny graphics wears off and you're left running from waypoint to waypoint. But that's just my take. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And stay tuned for the next video where we look at the original trilogy starting with A New Hope. As always, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and follow me on Twitter. See you next time.